And good evening, everybody. It is Sir Willow. I've got all sorts of stuff for you tonight. Lots of news coming out of the Disney parks. Several small little things, but they all kind of add up to a big thing. I've got some trip announcements coming up. I've got another announcement for viewers of the channel. I've got lots of mail to open up, and I have a cat on my lap that doesn't know what on earth she is doing. So let's get ready to have some fun. Well, the cat didn't last too long. She saw the camera and went, ah! Okay, so which of you scared my cat? All sorts of stuff. I hope you guys have enjoyed all the videos this week. It's been kind of a busy week trying to get everything put out for you. So that's been a lot of fun. We will be talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and we'll be talking about other things. Noah, at FC, I think you mean SDC. Good to see you, Noah. So, yeah, lots of people on here already. It's lots of chat. So I have a feeling we're going to have a fun night. We're going to be talking about a couple of the things that Disney has banned recently coming up. We're going to be talking about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We're going to be talking about my upcoming trips and upcoming meet and greets. And then I've got a new bit of merchandise that we've been talking a little bit about. So all of that is coming up, and then I've also got, let's see, I have this stack of mail, plus there's like 4 more packages over here on the side, so all sorts of stuff. We will talk a little bit about the Silver Dollar City construction as well, so yeah, all sorts of stuff. Probably the big announcements that came out yesterday was, and we'll start with this, and then I'll start on some of the mail, was Disney actually announced that they're making 3 big changes at their theme parks, at least as far as what you are allowed to bring in. You're no longer allowed to bring in crushed ice. This all starts May 1st, by the way, so it's not right now. But crushed ice will not be allowed in the park starting May 1st. They will no longer be allowing wagons and oversized strollers. You'll have to fit it within a certain range. And then no smoking in the parks. So all kind of big things. The crushed ice actually makes sense to me. The reason they're not allowing people to bring in crushed ice in coolers anymore is because it's too easy for people to hide things in it. Also, dry ice is included with this. You can still bring in ice packs. You can actually bring in frozen ice in bags and bottles. That should be okay. But they don't want them trying to sort through ice anymore and try to figure out what's inside. They've eliminated the wagons and huge strollers starting here in about a month, which I understand. I'm actually happy the oversized strollers are going. I know why some people really like wagons because we actually used one when our kids were little, but it's at the same time, it's going to make it easier to get around the parks. And then the big one is the smoking. This is going to be very interesting at the parks. Now, this is only at the U.S. parks, but starting May 1st, you will no longer be allowed to smoke at Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, any of the 4 major Walt Disney World parks, the water parks, Downtown Disney in California, and the ESPN Wide World of Sports in Florida. You still will have a couple smoking areas at Disney Springs. There will be smoking areas located outside the gates of the parks, but it won't be allowed in the parks at all anymore. That also includes vaping. No more vaping. And people are saying, wow, they're jumping all over the marijuana issue. This is what I've seen online. Most of it, they've actually been working on cutting it back for years and gradually phasing out smoking areas. So this is kind of the end result of a long-term deal. Although I wouldn't be surprised if trying to make sure people weren't smoking semi-legalized pot in the parks had something to do with it as well. Probably speeding it up a little bit. Whether it sticks or not, I don't know, because it's going to be interesting. I don't smoke. I've never smoked. My mother, however, has smoked my whole life, and it would be difficult for her to go to a park that didn't have at least some place for her to smoke. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm kind of sympathetic to both sides. I don't like the smell of smoke. I think it's gross. But at the same time, I understand that if you are addicted, you need that fix sometimes. And especially if you're in a place that can overwhelm the senses and everything. So it'll be interesting. It's going to make it very difficult for our European visitors, though, because smoking is not a big deal there. lots more smoking in Europe than here in the States. So, try to check all the chat stuff here. Jorge Ramirez says, have I seen Captain Marvel? Marvel, yeah. Yes, I have. Great movie. Absolutely loved it. Would I ever visit the UK, Sierra? If somebody is willing to pay my way, I don't have funds for that. Thomas in Estonia, hey, how are you doing? I'd love to go to Europe again, by the way. It's just the funding. We just don't have that. Let's see here. Bring crushed ice in a cup or water bottle. Yes, that is fine, just not in a cooler. Let's see here. Tell them you smoke only when you're on fire. Very good, Jake. What do you guys call wagons? Yeah, big multi-baby. They're not, don't think stroller or, and I'm forgetting what the name is in Europe. I'm sorry, rodent. A wagon is something you pull behind you that is essentially, it's got 4 wheels and it has this big round thing and you can toss whatever in it. Kids can sit in it if it has a bench, but a lot of times it's used for pulling things. So, that's what a wagon is. Let's see here. Adopt a ban. Oh, wagons. Boy, Kenny, I misread your thing here. It says, what I saw was, I think the theme park near me should adopt a ban on weapons. I'm like, what? Your park allows weapons? Let's see here. Who vapes their medicine? Yeah, we can go on to stuff like that too. One thing that we can all pretty much agree on, smoking is bad for you. Smoking is not healthy. Smoking is not good. But yes, there are times when people have issues. So, James Garcia, yes, I will definitely pray. Ooh, we're going to have a busy one, I can tell. This is going to be tough keeping up with chat, especially with all my mail. So, the cat has actually taken off Cheese Doodle. Sorry, caught her at the beginning, but let's see. Yeah, like a wheelbarrow for kids, and you pull it behind you as opposed to pushing it. So, okay, so I'm going to try to get on some of this mail here as well, because it looks like people are talking about the smoking. First thing I got is something from Barry. I've got a few from Barry here, but I've also got things from Canada and all sorts of other stuff. Ron, thank you so very much. You're welcome on the SDC vids. I'm not going to make it out this week, because it's supposed to rain overnight and most of tomorrow. But hopefully we'll get back out there in a couple weeks again as well. So, thank you so much. Let's see here. Hug Daisy. Oh, Daisy is awesome. We got to see Daisy at Animal Kingdom, which that's coming up this next week. So Prams, that's what I was trying to think of. Rodent, thank you. Oh, yeah, Rodent. Okay, trying to remember. Did I say your name right? So let's see. Barry sent me a couple postcards with a couple long notes here. Let's see. Spent my birthday at Universal. Didn't arrive until late morning. There's the card for you. Had the best meal ever at Mythos. Mythos is great. I don't get to eat there very often. Then a friend set us up for to ride the Mardi Gras float. That's really cool. By the way, that coaster is Hulk at Universal in Florida. And let's see, Orlando this weekend for my birthday. I'm kind of skimming here a little bit. Begin the day at you meet at Disney Springs. So hey, I know when this was sent. So you can tell how long it's been since I got mail. This is from February. Rode a few rides, Spaceship Earth, Test Track, Mission Space, Green and Orange Side, Grand Fiesta Tour, and Frozen Ever After. Got a birthday button too, and got a free slushie. Ooh, Club Cool, that's cool. Had a delicious dinner in La Hacienda San Angel in Mexico. Got a free dessert for my birthday, but I ate too much. I've done that too. And then he sent along a map of the Festival of the Arts at Epcot and one of the booklets. Awesome. Smoking ban never would have happened when Walt was alive. You know, Hoop, I don't know on that. I know Walt was a smoker. I don't think alcohol would have been served in the parks when Walt was alive. Walt was much more concerned with alcohol and the way people behaved afterwards, but I really don't know how Walt would have gone with the changing of society. It's easy to kind of guess based on 1950s and 60s, but we don't live in the 50s and 60s anymore, so it's hard to say. So, hi, Time Nerds. Got another card here from Drew Palmquist. Hoping to save for Brazil next year. Ooh. Yeah, no income can definitely make it tough. Want to go learn more? That would be awesome. Let's see. Hulk roller coaster any different from the original? No, it basically rides almost exactly the same, and it's just as rough as the original was at the end, too. So, top of the morning. This is from Drew. It says, thinking of you and wishing you a happy St. Patrick's Day. So we are definitely getting caught up here. Genuinely curious. Do you recognize frequent viewers' names? Some of them, Aaron. Definitely. But, let's see. Oop, tried not to bump that. So yes, I do recognize some. At the same time, smoking back in the 60s wasn't as frowned upon as it is today. It was much more common. Well, when Walt Disney World opened, there was no smoking areas. It was just smoking wherever. And Walt did not smoke in public. He did not want people to know that he smoked, but there wasn't restrictions. But again, as our culture has changed, particularly here in the States, we've become more aware of the problems with smoking and the dangers, and then started to clamp down and educated. But Europe, in many ways, as far as smoking goes, Europe is almost where the U.S. was back in the 70s and early 80s. So it's a different feel. It was very interesting going to Disney Paris with their smoking areas, and nobody paid attention. They just smoked everywhere. Let's see. This is another one from Barry. So thankful for the blessings God has given. So thankful for you. That's sweet. Praying that God watches over you on St. Patrick's Day and keeps you always in his love. St. Patrick's Day was fun for us. I actually forgot to wear green on that Sunday, but nobody attacked me. It was kind of nice. Aaron, first time riding Hulk was with me. Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of a headbanger. And of course they had all the metal detectors going and everything. Shout out San Antonio. We can do that. Okay. So let me see here. I'm going to get one more. This is actually from D. Strong in Elm Grove, Louisiana. This is going to get me. Thank you. You've been a big help. I'm like, what did I do? I don't know. Oh, boy. Let's see. Okay. There's a letter in here, so I'm going to... Sir Willow, what a great surprise to receive the Disney postcard from you. A good Orlando postmark, too. By the way, I sent out postcards to all my patrons when I was at Disney this last time. So at least the ones I had addresses for. Sir did not have one like it. At my age, I'm not able to do all the postcard correspondence I used to. But 10 years ago, I counted my postcards and had over 30,000. Wow, that's a postcard collection. Started collecting cards when I was very young and still get excited when I receive a new card. Thank you for your time, effort, and money to send this special card to me. Billy, Rhonda, and Sarah follow you all the time. I believe they met up with you when they went to Silver Dollar City. Yes, they did. So this is from Billy's mom. Billy is the patron. And, okay, for you young kids, this is how you write neatly. Look at that beautiful cursive writing. Okay. Hi, Harrison. How are you doing? We're just smoking PSA I've heard all day, Cyril. Let's see. Do I chat with Disney characters backstage and joke around on break when I worked at Disney? Absolutely. They were my coworkers. Do you talk with your coworkers when there aren't guests around? Of course you do. So yes, we always talk backstage. Sometimes about what had just happened on stage, sometimes about stuff going on at work, sometimes about the football game. Who knows? We talked about all sorts of stuff. Let's see. Got your first ever Disney pin. All right, Elizabeth. Beware the obsession. Let's see. Jorge with the Captain Marvel. I don't know, Jorge. Is it Jorge or George? It's spelled Spanish, Jorge, but boy, all the Funko Pops of Captain Marvel and pins, that's a lot. Let's see here. Indian statue is still there from the old tobacco shop at Disneyland. Yes, absolutely. Daniel, thank you for subscribing. Hi, Kevin in Maine. So let's see. We talked about the bands. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to talk about before I get on to a little bit more mail. All of us excited about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They announced a few weeks ago, right about the time I did my last live stream, that when they open up Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, it is just going to be the land and the Millennium Falcon experience that's going to be available. No Rise of the Resistance at either park. So the end of May, when Disneyland opens theirs, Rise of the Resistance will not be open. And then in August, when Hollywood Studios opens theirs, Rise of the Resistance won't be open. They're both delayed by a few months afterwards, which is going to make it interesting. So be aware if you're planning to get there right away. Also, Disneyland has announced that for the first month that it is open, there will be no standby lines for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They won't even allow you into the area unless you have a reservation. Anybody who stays at Disney Resort is going to be guaranteed a reservation into the land, But after that, it's kind of a first come, first serve deal. And otherwise, during that first month up until June 23rd, if you don't have a reservation to get in, you're not going to get into Star Wars. And then they're going to limit the time you're allowed in so they can try and get as many people through. This is interesting. After June 23rd, they'll have a standby line outside, and it's probably going to be hours long just to get into the area. And who knows when Rise of the Resistance will open. But can you imagine? Sorry, you don't have a reservation. You can't come in. That's going to be crazy. And I know why they're doing it, because the crowds are going to be absolutely nuts. But wow, what a thought to tell people, no, you can't come in. So that just came out a couple days ago too, and I was kind of like, well, that's going to be interesting. Thankfully, we're going down to Disneyland in October, so hopefully we'll be past all that, and fingers crossed, Rise of the Resistance will be open. I hope. So, Justin, you're very welcome for your pin trade. Noah saw me on the back of the train. Awesome. I hope I gave you a good ride. Let's see here. Hope you can watch while doing your 16-hour shift. Whew. Okay. Prefer George. Okay. Oh, Hulk Shooter. Okay. Now I know who you are. Let's see. Oh, Brandon, I'm sorry you got the flu. And then here, it's major allergy season now. We're all stuffed up and congested. So if I sound really funny, it's because I've got all sorts of nasally stuff. Let's see. Collecting 3 Caballeros. Those are harder to find. That's a good one. Although Donald's easy. But summer's going to be bonkers. Oh, yeah. So what do I think of the reservations for Star Wars Land? It's going to be interesting to see how it works out. I'm happy I will be there after they're done with them. So this is another thing from Barry, and this is hilarious. This is actually a little padded envelope. And let me read the note in here first. Hey, here's something I picked up for you at Disney. Enjoy. Anybody want a waffle? There's a Mickey waffle keychain. That is awesome. That is so cool. Hey, Aaron, I might sound funny, but you look funny, and, well, I can always take a cough drop. Let's see. Should have built an entire Star Wars park. You know, Jake, I've started thinking that they could have easily made a 5th gate down in Florida and just done Star Wars for it, but that would be interesting. Hey, Craig, what are you agreeing with Aaron for? Shame. Have I seen the trailers for Rocket Man? No, actually, yes, I did see one. So it would be interesting. I won't do a reaction to it for one very simple reason. It's not Disney. That's generally what I do the reaction videos to. So it's Disney, and the Marvel and Star Wars fall into that realm. So got one here from the Christopher family in St. Louis. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to make a trip up there in May. But, let's see. And this is Disney things. Disney's California Adventure. And then there is a Disneyland guide map. And another one for California Adventure for the Lunar New Year. That is very cool. And actually, since I mentioned St. Louis, thank you for those, Christopher family. That's awesome. I am hoping, fingers crossed, to be able to make a trip to Kentucky and St. Louis near the end of May. I've actually posted up on the Facebook page and a couple other spots. The plan right now, and it's iffy, is to leave out of where I live on a Sunday, get out towards Kentucky that night. On Monday that we go, we'll be going to the Ark Encounter Museum. And then the day after that will be to the Creation Museum up near Cincinnati. I've been given free tickets for both of those, and I'm actually excited to get to them. And then, depending upon budget and time, I'd love to go to Kings Island since we're in Cincinnati. I don't know that I'll be able to afford tickets, but I'll talk about that in a second. And then we'll head to St. Louis, where the plan is to have a day at the St. Louis Zoo, and then another day at Six Flags St. Louis before coming home. It's very much kind of in the air right now. When I posted a week and a half ago, I was like, yes, we're doing this. And then we found out that my wife did not get approved to teach summer school initially. And so we're kind of going, well, there's the budget money. Now she's kind of in limbo again that she might get summer school, in which if she does, then we're going to be okay. We'll be able to pull the money and manage to make it happen. If she doesn't get summer school, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. We may end up just having to do like a 2 or 3 night trip and really cram it. So we're kind of waiting to see. Fingers crossed things work out and we can get the money and we can cover the hotels and the food, because that's really what it's going to cost us. We're looking probably $400 for hotels. So hope that my wife gets summer school and then we can make this trip happen. But that's why I haven't put solid dates and put meet and greets and stuff like that up, because we don't know yet. So we're still waiting to find out in summer school. And speaking of which, I actually had somebody on my other thing that had made a comment, and I just want to address this real quick because it did come up. I had somebody that made a comment along the lines of, why are you going to that wacko place? It's a nut jobs for people who can't do real science. Something like that. Which, I'll be honest, really kind of bothered and offended me. And I'm not going to give you a big sermon or anything about what I believe and what you should believe or whatever. But I was bothered that it was very disrespectful to anybody that had a view other than theirs, especially since it was very obvious that they hadn't taken any time to examine any view otherwise. Second, I'm going to show you what I see. It's a tourist place. People go to see it and want to know what's there, and that's what I'm going to show you, is what's there and what it's like and what it is. But if you don't like a place I go, don't watch the video. Nobody's forcing you to watch my videos. I love when you do watch. I hope you watch everything I do. But, you know, if you have a hard time with a view that differs from yours, maybe the internet isn't a place for you. Okay, that's done. That just, like I said, that really bothered me. So, I'm trying not to whack my microphone here. Do you suppose it's too late to buy some Disney stock? Now, Disney stock is always on sale. So, wish I had some Mickey waffles in Disney World. Yes, they are. My son loves them. Let's see. What do I think of Disney owning 20th Century Fox? I'm still waiting to see on that. It could be good. It could be bad. It's probably going to be a mix of the two. So I really don't know. One thing I am confident of, you're not going to see Fox stuff show up in the Disney parks. You really didn't see ABC show up in the parks. Outside of a couple signs at Hollywood Studios, you're not going to see the Fox characters showing up in Disney parks. So don't worry about that. Glad you made the cast member magical with the candy note. For those of you wondering what Randy is talking about, you will see more of that in my upcoming vlogs for Hollywood Studios and for Animal Kingdom. You'll get to see what happened with those boxes of candy. It was amazing. And I've got a video talking about how to make your character encounters the best possible, and that's one of the things that will come up. So that will be coming up. Let's see here. And George has some good advice about the stocks there. Any plans for Frontier City? That is a definite maybe. And let me explain why it's a maybe here. Because I got a couple papers sitting here on my desk. Six Flags ran this special, and I'm going to cover my codes. Where we actually went ahead and we got memberships because it was on sale. So I can go to Frontier City now, but it is a 4-hour drive there and a 4-hour drive back. So whether we decide to do an idiotic one-day trip, I might at this point. I don't know, but it is now a possibility, whereas 2 weeks ago, it was a definite no. So maybe, Eric. Let's see here. Did I ever have a chance to play Smash Brothers Ultimate? I played Brawl on the Wii, but no, we don't have a Nintendo Switch, so never gotten to play that. E.F. Hutton. Hey, ooh, there's a blast from the past. Wait, yeah, you want people on the internet to act like adults? I know, Craig, my expectations are just ridiculous, aren't they? Let's see here. George, I love that prophecy. Let's see. What about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and American Idol? Okay, good point, Craig. You did get those. But again, they were both at Hollywood Studios. They were not in the other parks. So, but yes, points to you for that. Let's see. Do I think Disney World will be a madhouse in October? Maybe. With Star Wars opening, it's a good possibility. So, next, another card from Barry here. Okay, there's me on the coaster. That's totally fitting. Happy St. Patrick's Day from the Wii folk. From the Wii folk. There you go. That's awesome. Let's see here. I'm trying to look at my other things too, because I still have a couple more things I definitely want to talk about as well. Fox characters be used as leverage versus Universal. I doubt it. What George Ramirez is talking about there is, if you look at Universal in Florida, you've got the Simpsons that are there, and there's a couple other Fox characters, and Universal also has the Marvel characters. Universal has signed contracts to be able to use those properties as long as they want, and as long as they're using them and not necessarily creating anything new, Disney can't use them. I doubt Universal is going to change that. I really do. I don't see Universal giving in to allow Marvel coming to Disney, and I'll be honest, you don't want Marvel at both of those anyways in Florida because it's going to create confusion. So I don't think Universal is going to give in on that. Universal would have to get paid a lot of money to give up. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. Happy Pie Day, March 14th, 3/14. How many of you had a pie for Pie Day? I had cheesecake. Calculate the possibilities. That's a pretty looking card, though. I like that. Let's see. When do I plan to be at SDC next? I do not know, Chad. I wish I did. Weather's going to be ugly this weekend, and we're kind of under the weather anyways. Okay, so I have one more envelope here. This is from Justin in Maine, and it looks like it all came through, and I hadn't opened this yet. He actually just thanked me for the pin trade. So here is the pin that he sent me. Thank you for the pin trade. Looking forward to doing it again. And there is the pin. That's a cool looking Stormtrooper. So thank you for that one, Justin. Let's see. Boy, you guys are just chatting up a ton. That's awesome. Let's see. Didn't change into Jurassic World to ride over Universal Studios Florida. James Garcia is asking about the Jurassic ride over Universal Studios Florida. It is still the Jurassic Park adventure, and in fact, if you watch my Universal vlog, you can see that we ride it, and Aaron tried to get on-ride pictures and mistimed and totally missed us on it. But it is still the same ride in Florida, and I don't know that there are plans to change it over at this point. So, doubt they'll use the X-Men characters, mainly because Universal... Disney Florida cannot use the X-Men characters because they're already in Universal, so they cannot show up in Disney Florida. California, because of the contract, you may see X-Men come into the Marvel Universe. I would not be surprised to see that at all. Very much so. But yeah, that's probably long term. There's going to be a lot of stuff with the Marvel characters that they're bringing in that I am sure will get brought in. But that's probably the one thing, really, from all this you may see show up in the parks. Let's see here. Good avoiding the Disney parks until 2021. That's not necessarily a bad idea. Let's see here. Did Dr. Seuss get removed from Universal? No. Universal in Florida has not changed really anything as far as that. Nothing has been removed. All you've seen, except for Dueling Dragons. That's the one thing that's gone, and that's the new Harry Potter thing. But all the other lands you're used to seeing at Islands of Adventure are still down there. Watch my Universal vlog, and you can see we go through almost the whole park. We don't touch the Cartoon Island so much because time. But got another one here from Kenny Higgins in Palm Bay, Florida. And he's got me, let's see, a nice little letter. It says, "Hi, George, a.k.a. Sir Willow. I found this at home and thought you would like it. Went on this tour. It tells a lot about the history of St. Augustine. Thanks for having the meetup in February. Your friend Kenny." And this is about the St. Augustine sightseeing map. If you want to see the oldest city in the U.S., this is it. It also has the oldest fortification that's there. It's a neat city to get to tour. I only got to browse through it once, but here's the whole map. And it's got just some really neat history. If you're a history buff, you want to get there at some point. Aaron's like, I really tried, but... Yes, Aaron, you did get good pictures, but you missed the one. Chad's planning to be there Good Friday. Good luck. Expect the park to be very busy on Good Friday. Very busy. Let's see. Oh, another news item here that I'll catch before I get on some more mail. I still have about 7 envelopes and 4 packages. They are changing ABC commissary at Disney Hollywood Studios, at least for dinner. They're actually making it more like Be Our Guest, where you have to have a reservation. You can try and walk up, but good luck. You can order your meals ahead of time. You check in, they'll confirm your meal, and then they'll give you a pager, and you sit down wherever you'd like, and then they will bring your meal to you. They will also be setting up drink stations, so you get your own drinks with it. We actually really like this at Be Our Guest. It saved us trouble from waiting in lines. There was still a bit of a line, but it wasn't so bad. And it made it feel nicer. It felt like you were getting served, even though it wasn't table service. So it'll be interesting to see, and I guess they're also introducing pot roast with it. So new dinner style coming up in, get my date right here, June 2nd at ABC Commissary. And then I've also got a couple things. If you don't know, we will be in Florida again at the end of July, the first part of August. We will be having a meet and greet July 27th, which is a Saturday. It will be at Disney Springs again. And so if you are in Florida at the end of July, I'd love to meet you on July 27th. Expected probably 11 o'clock, more than likely over at Cirque du Soleil, which is what we've done the last couple times. That's worked out really well. And then if you were in California, October 5th at Downtown Disney will be the meet and greet there. That's when we will be visiting Disneyland. So October 5th, Downtown Disney in California. July 27th at Disney Springs in Florida. So excited about those trips coming up, and I will be posting more information on the Facebook and the Reddit. If you want to know about meet and greets and when to see me and when I'm going to be places, watch the Facebook page. That is by far the best way to do it. I will typically try to post things up there if I'm going to be free or if something comes up. If you're trying to get it from the videos, you're going to miss a lot. Get onto that Facebook page, sign on as a fan for Sir Willow, join the Sir Willow Confessions of a Theme Park Worker fan group as well. And we've had a bunch of new people sign on, and there's some great discussions that go on. So be sure you're signed on with both of those, as well as the Reddit and the Discord. I'm not on Discord as much as I would like, but there are several people that like to chat on there as well. So that's all there. Let's see here. Wish Dr. Seuss was removed. Poor Aaron has no taste in good literature. He doesn't like Dr. Seuss. How can you not like Dr. Seuss? Oh, and then you say I'm weird. Let's see here. Yeah, brought Marvel to Disneyland Paris because Marvel is now Disney. Remember, Marvel is Disney now, so you're going to see Marvel showing up at all the Disney parks. Have I ever been on a Disney cruise? Chad, check my FAQ, but the answer is sort of no. I have been on the boat for 6 hours to film a commercial, but I have never been on an actual cruise. And hey, if somebody wants to spot the $4,000 for me to go on a cruise, I'd be happy to, but I can turn that $4,000 into a whole lot of other things. And since we generally don't have $4,000 to toss around, so I would love to, but it's not in the cards right now. Let's see. See, Disney contacting the Universal for the Fox characters being Universal. Universal already has the Fox characters that they want. So Universal isn't going to pay any money to get any more. And like I said, they're absolutely not going to give up the contracts for Marvel. So I don't think anything's going to change there. Universal has their contracts. I see them just staying the way they are. The only difference they're going to have is instead of paying Comcast and others that they were paying before, now they're going to be paying Disney. Other than that, I don't see any change. What attraction would I put into a fifth park? Well, I would have done Star Wars. Now, I don't know. This might be the one place you see Fox. Maybe. I would have said if they put in a Fox Studios, but since they're basically killing the whole thing with Hollywood Studios, that's kind of pointless now. So I have no idea what they would have done. Hollywood Studios would have been the one park that could have fit if they'd done the old studio thing, but no idea. How busy do I think the parks will be 2 weeks before Galaxy's Edge? It's hard to say. Very hard to say. So, I've got another envelope here from Barry. This is actually a fairly big one. And it says, Sir Willow, here are a few things I picked up for you at Universal. It was good to meet you on February 23rd. And Barry was definitely there for Mardi Gras. So, hey, we got the beads. That'll work. We didn't buy any beads while we were there. And then he also, this is actually almost more for my wife. This is a cool pin. Teacher of all things. Goes right along with the shirt I got, which she also got for me. Thank you, Barry. That's cool. That's very cool. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up with all this chat. Thanks, Disney, for increasing my table service bucket list. Craig, it's for lunchtime, it's still a regular counter service, and for dinner, it's really not table service. I wouldn't add it onto your list. Let's see here. Must one pay admission to get to Disney Springs or Downtown Disney? No, they are outdoor shopping districts. You don't even have to pay for parking for Disney Springs. So, no, they're absolutely free to get into and walk around and look at and all sorts of stuff like that. So, let's see here. Walt Disney World, July, August. I'm a glutton for punishment. Actually, we are going down to Florida in July and August because our church denomination has their biannual, which means every 2 years, big convention and business meetings down there the first 4 days in August. So we have to go down anyways for that. Well, we don't have to, but we really should. And so we're just adding on a few days at the beginning of the trip to add in time to vacation and do some other stuff. So we're only going to be hitting parks every other day is kind of the early plan for that right now. Just a little note here from Barry on this one. Let's see. Just wanted to say that I am madly in love with you. Uh-oh. I'm married, Barry. I've been in love with you since I saw your first video. Wow, this is getting kind of interesting. Next time you're at Disney, we should have dinner at the California Grill. Then... Wait, and if you believe that, okay. I'm going, what are you writing here, Barry? I'm like, I can't say some of these things. It's not that there's anything really rude, but... Very nice, Barry. You started to scare me a little bit there. Wanted to do some fan... Let's see. Fan art is cool. I love seeing some of the fan art. Cruise added on to Disney. I've heard so many good things about it. I've heard great things about the cruise. I just know we'll never be able to afford it. I have heard that Disney is adapting The Princess Bride. That sounds like it would be really, really cool. So, have I seen any of the Disney Broadway shows? No, not yet, but I really want to. Okay, so I have 4 more cards here. And after I do the 4 cards, before I do the packages, I'm going to hit my announcement. And by the way, for those of you wondering, we are, let's see, 36 minutes in. I might make the hour. I doubt it. This is from Drew Palmquist. Hip hip hooray! Oh, I love the pun. Have a happy Easter day. So, Aaron, pro tip. Park at Disney Springs, then take the bus to the park. Except it doesn't work, Aaron. There are not any buses from Disney Springs to the parks. If you want to go to a park from Disney Springs, you have to take a bus to a resort first, and then go to the park. So it's going to take you a whole lot longer to get there. Now, if you're really so much of a penny pincher, you don't want to pay the $25 for parking, which, yes, I agree, is expensive to park at the parks that way. That's one way to do it, but Disney really frowns on it, too. If they find out you do it, they have been known to occasionally ticket people. So, wonder if Disney will do anything with The Simpsons. No. Nope. Disney's not interested in The Simpsons. Doesn't fit into their profile. So, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be terribly shocked to see Disney sell The Simpsons off completely. So, let's see. Does Crane have their own... Aaron's asking about my hometown. The answer is yes and yes, Aaron. So, heard a cat in the background. Nope, that was actually my dog. So, would I like to go to Disneyland Paris? James, you need to watch my videos. I was actually there last March. Yeah, in fact, it was a year ago this last week. Amazingly enough. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So, and I would love to go back. Another card from Barry. Truly amazing you are. Actually, should be amazing you are, yes, truly. Something like that. Have a happy Easter, you will. My wife is looking at me weird. What? Oh, it's my beads for Mardi Gras. Oh. She's looking at me going, what is this? And I'm like, oh, my beads.
I figured she went to Hawaii.
Well, no. Well, normally you got to like dance or do something crazy for the beads. And I just decided to kind of wave at people on video. Okay. Let's see. It would be cool to see Aladdin in New York. It really would. Yes, Disney cruises are on the bucket list. That's a good way to put it. Goodness, I'd like to go on any cruise, to be honest. We were actually going to go on a cruise last year for our 25th anniversary, and then the family all chipped in and sent us to Israel instead. And it was kind of like, cruise? Israel. Israel! So, yeah, I mean, there's ways to work around the bus. Generally, like I said, Disney doesn't like you parking at Disney Springs. Is there a bus from Orlando to Disney? Orlando is a huge city, Kenny. If you're trying to get just a bus to Disney, you're better off trying to find an Uber or a Lyft or something like that. So, another card from Drew, wishing you Easter joy and blessings. Easter's coming up in 3 weeks. May the Easter season be blessed for you with God's promise of peace that is lasting and true. Looking forward to Easter. Easter is a busy time for pastors. So lots of work. Okay, so I got one more card here, and then the packages. But after I do this card, I'm going to give you the announcement for my channel, because I got some neat stuff coming up. This is from Leah in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So thank you for writing, Leah. He knows if you've been bad or good. I got stuff falling out. I love it. It knows it's not Santa Claus. I know that's usually Santa Claus, but the Easter Bunny's just nosy. That's awesome. Thank you, Leah. And then Leah also included, oh, this is a neat looking sticker. A Minnie Mouse sticker. There you go. Okay, so my big announcement is not me whacking the microphone, I promise. I've talked about this a little bit. We've hinted at it a bit, and it is something that is going to happen. And so I am really excited now that Disney is leaving me. Thanks a lot. What, dinner calls? I mean, you can eat while watching. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We have talked about ordering some pins, some official Sir Willow pins, and we actually have them on order. They're going to look like this, and so I'll try and get out of the way. They're based on that same basic design. They're going to be 1.5 inches in size, which means it's going to be a little bigger than this pin right here. And to give you an idea how big that pin is, that's a US quarter. And you can see the pin is just a little bigger than the quarter, and my pin will be just a smidge bigger than that. So we will have Sir Willow pins coming. I am taking pre-orders if people would like to pre-order. Before you do it, let me give you the costs and everything. It is going to cost $10 US for the first pin. That will include shipping. And if you are in Canada, it's going to be $15. And if you are international, which basically means anywhere else, it's $20 for that first pin. I'm sorry, it's that shipping that's attacking that. However, here's the good news. If you order more than one, every pin you add on additionally is only $7 more. So $10 US for the first one, $15 Canada, $20 for the rest of the world, $7 for each additional pin. There's actually information in this video description already with the link to the PayPal. Pay me as goods and services. That gives you protection, so that way if something happens to the pins, then you have a way to get a refund, because I don't want to take anybody's money that shouldn't. Make sure you include your shipping address. That should be an obvious thing. I will get the pins approximately the very end of April. We're actually looking like the last 3 days or so. And so then I'm going to be packaging them all myself and shipping them out. So shipping will probably be out the first or second week of May if all goes well. Fingers crossed. So that's kind of the timeline. So if you are interested in pins, they're available for pre-orders, and I will be posting the links up on the Facebook page and the Reddit as well. So they will be there for people to see. Yeah, I'm excited. Pins are coming. They're a reality. Oh, and if you do meet me in person and you want pins, if for the meet and greets and stuff, I will typically carry pins. And if you're local, I can probably work out something with you so we can avoid the shipping charge. If you want, send me notes through Facebook or personally, or through email, sirwillow@gmail.com, and we can talk about that if you want to go that route. So, and Aaron's posting up the PayPal link right there. Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Hi, Gabrielle and Colin. Good to see you. Let's see. Will they be Disney certified? No, these are not Disney trading pins. Disney's not going to let you trade them. I'm only getting a couple hundred of them made. So, please pay for them, because I've actually paid for this out of pocket already, and I'm going, oh, please don't let me get a killing out of my pocket on this. If I make a profit on this, that profit is actually going to help pay for our expenses on the October trip and possibly in July. So fingers crossed. I'd love to be able to do a profit on that. You're welcome to add notes and other stuff as well there too, but this is really, it's meant to get you the pins, but I'm hoping to make a smidge of money, but it's going to take several $100s before I can actually come up even. I'm going to, just to give you an idea, I've got to sell at least 75 pins to break even. So buy those pins. Okay. I think that's that. And yeah, I was hoping, especially for international, to get the price down just a little bit, but unfortunately I can't do anything on the shipping on that. So, but Oh, okay. Disney, I understand leaving. Tell your mom I said hi. So, any update for the park in the next few months? The one park I am aware of is Silver Dollar City has all sorts of stuff going on. I will be popping in and out of there. They have, of course, removed Lost River, if you've seen the video there. And they've got plans for a new ride and area, but they have not announced and won't announce until August. But the rumors are a brand new River Rapids ride. Updated, possibly with a drop, one that won't leak or have other issues. I had somebody ask, did they close it because of the Ride the Duck stuff? No, it has nothing to do with that. It was just time for an update. So, ever been to Epcot during Flower and Garden? Absolutely. Brooks is gorgeous. Loved Flower and Garden. In fact, let me see here. I can even actually show you some pictures. This is actually from 2008 Flower and Garden. And whoop, there we go. So you can see way back, and they actually used the Wonders of Life Pavilion at the time. This is actually my son's taking pictures there. But you can see I got a whole bunch of pictures of Flower and Garden from that time, including the butterfly and several things like that. So yes, we've been Flower Garden. We loved Flower and Garden. Let's see. Sell enough Sir Willow pins Disney Cruise paid for. I'm not going to be able to sell that many pins, Steve. Trust me on that. I do have a couple packages here. Craig Colai got a hold of my wish list. I've had a couple people ask, if you're wanting to know other things I like besides just my typical pins and souvenirs and brochures and stuff, I do actually have a link to my Amazon wish list along with all the gear that I use down below. There's some things for the channel on there. There's some things that aren't for the channel. But Craig decided to try to spoil me. So one of the things he ordered is windscreens for the phone. And if you watched my Silver Dollar City construction video, you know why I wanted these. Because that wind played havoc with my microphone. So this will hopefully help the sound on that a lot. Thank you so much, Craig, for that one. And then he ordered one other thing here, too, which I don't know what it is. But it's also from Amazon. Let's see here. And let's see. And Josh, I think you pretty much said what I know about the SEC construction. I have some other ideas, but nothing I'm willing to share because I don't know if they're true and they're not cleared from the park in any regard. So, let's see. This one has a note with it. It says, "Hi, George. Encourage you to post a list. I figured I should participate." From Craig. And this is... Oh, I bet I know what this is. This will actually be something good for the other microphone. This is a windscreen. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what that is, I'll actually lift up my regular microphone here. You can see I have one attached here. I've got one like this sort of jimmy rigged on my other microphone at the church where I do most of my recordings. And what it does is when you say a P or an S or something that would blow, it helps remove that loud sound from it. So this will actually fit much better for the one at church. So I can get that hooked up and we can actually improve the sound a little bit. So that is awesome. So thank you so much for that, Craig. I can definitely use that. Let's see here. Petting cat with a toothbrush. Yeah, I believe it. Let's see here. Confused about how you do pin trading. If I mail you a Disney pin, would you mail one back? If I have a pin that I know you would like, Aaron, then yes, I can mail one to you. And I've got a few here, which I probably ought to post those on the Facebook page. I'll do that afterwards. But generally, it's kind of a pin for a pin. If you send me a pin, then I send you a pin, kind of thing. There are a lot of places you can meet people online to trade. I generally don't do it very often through the mail because I'm skeptical and scared that people aren't going to send me my pin. But if I got somebody from the channel that's wanting to send something, I'll be happy to trade with you. So yeah, just let me know what you want to trade. I'll post up my pictures on the Facebook page later, in addition to that link to the Sir Willow pin, and that way you can let me know what you want to do. What's your favorite DSLR camera? I use Nikons. Although Canons, honestly, there's no difference between Canon and Nikon. My best suggestion there is go grab them both, put them in your hands, and see which one feels better for you, and then use that. That's the best way to pick a camera. So, do I think Disney would approve of the wine festival at Epcot? Honestly, I don't. But I don't think he would do for the food and wine. I also know that he would approve of how much alcohol is sold at Epcot. And that is simply because Walt didn't like drunks in his parks. And having worked at Epcot a lot and having dealt with a lot of drunks, I know why Walt didn't like that. Walt did not want alcohol in Disney at all, except for the place where he wined and dined his super fancy guests. And I think Walt was still on with that. I don't have an issue if somebody wants to have a drink, but the problem is too many people in their public place don't control themselves. And anymore with Epcot, it's not just having a drink or two. There's a whole culture there of, I want to drink my way around the world and get drunk. And if you go to Epcot, you see people wearing shirts bragging about how they're going to get smashed and drunk and not remember it. And that bothers me. That is not something Walt would have liked. So, let's see. Let's see. Not a windscreen, it's called a pop filter. Okay, everybody's giving me a bad time because I didn't use the technical name. Yes, it's a pop filter because it prevents the pop from happening. But what's a pop? It's called an aspiration, and it blocks the wind that comes out from that and the noise that comes from it. So it's still a windscreen. Aaron, you didn't need to post a wish list, but thank you. That is not me asking for anything, by the way. That's not me saying, see, this is what you should buy. Honestly, what that is my Christmas list that I post for the family every year with a couple other things added on, and that's all it is, so I'm not expecting anything on that list. Okay, so lest anybody says, Sir Willow is getting greedy. No, it's really not. It's really not. So, yeah. Thank you, Craig. Speech intelligibility. You're asking me to speak intelligently, and that's tough. So, Joseph, yeah, favorite park. It's on the video, Joseph. Okay. This is another one I just got, and this is a really cool box. This is from Joseph Jenkins. Joseph Jenkins. I'm looking at your name, and I'm going, woo, all sorts of different... This is from Patrick Prescott. Sorry, I totally said that wrong. And I kind of got a preview of this in a video that he made that gave me a shout out. But I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing what is in here as I work on. Am I going to see the new Dumbo movie that's coming out? You know, we honestly haven't decided yet. We haven't even seen How to Train Your Dragon 3 yet, which we know we got to go see. So, huge Donald collector. Have a spare Darkwing. Oh, don't let my daughter know you have a Darkwing Duck. She would love that. She found a Darkwing Duck on this last trip and just about flipped, which that's actually in the Animal Kingdom video. You'll see it there coming up. So look for that one this week. Let's see. Getting a shout out. Hi, Mr. Brady. So I'm full of hot air and that wind hurts mics. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Craig. Have I ever heard of Kingdom Hearts? Absolutely. I've got a couple friends that play. I don't play for one simple reason. Time. I don't have time to game much at all. I've got too many games I'd like to play and nowhere near enough time to play any of them. So, but yes, I am familiar with Kingdom Hearts. And if you ever want fun, try to read a summary of the story of it, because it makes no sense. Okay. Let's see here. Are the Cannon Rebels good for large hands? Kill King, again, my best suggestion. Go to a store like Best Buy or a photo camera center and just grab the cameras. And that's the best way to figure out what fits you. There are different sizes. Nikon and Canon both have smaller models and larger models. So the best thing to do is really go get your hands on them and see what fits and what they feel like. That is the best way to do it. Really, there isn't any other way to tell you what's going to feel good in your hand other than that. So, let's see here. So is the second pin $15? So Pontoon Pirates, the way this works, your first pin, if you live in the United States, is $10. If you live in Canada, that first pin is $15. If you live in any other countries, it's $20. That includes the shipping. If you want to buy a second pin, that second pin is going to cost you $7 more. Which means if you live in the U.S. and you want two pins, it would then be $17. If you live in Canada, it would be $22 U.S. funds. So total. So it's $7 for the second pin added on to the price of the first pin. If you want three pins, well, $7 more for the second and the third. So then you're looking $14 plus the price of the original pin. So let's see here. Do I have any Aladdin Genie pins? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Actually, no, let me correct that. I do have one. I have one, but it's mine. Nobody's getting that one. I got lots of them. Okay, so this is something that Patrick did, and this is really cool. This is actually a metal picture, so you can hear it. Let me do ASMR. Okay, anyways. Yes, can you tell I like ASMR? That is Walt. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And that is really cool. There's only one problem with this. I gotta figure out where on earth I'm gonna put it. I may put it in my church. I think I might have room in the shelves behind the other picture. I might have to redo that just a little bit. But yes, that is very, very cool. So thank you so much for that, Patrick. Yes, I was like, did I just call you the wrong name again? No, thank you. I'm way out of focus. Here, camera. There I am. So thank you. That is just awesome. That really is. Oh, Craig's got a very good suggestion, too, that I never think about. Before buying expensive cameras or lenses, rent one. There are places that you can rent a camera for a few days, and many larger cities will have local places you can do it. You can then take the camera out, you can try it out, you can play with it, you can see if it works for you or not and how you feel, and then you haven't spent a lot of money, you've just spent a little bit to borrow it. And then you can do that with 2 or 3 different cameras and lenses and get a good feel for what works for you. So, let's see here. You grab the cameras and run out of the store. Most of the stores have cameras out on display you can try. Does Disney still do a tour of the Castle Suite? They just started offering tours. They actually have never offered tours of the Castle Suite. But they just started as part of their $12,000 tour package, which is nuts. So, but yeah, they've never really offered tours. You either got to stay in it or you didn't. So, oh goodness. Kenny, we will be praying for your mom. Definitely. What if you want 4 pins delivered somewhere on Earth and the trains don't leave the station at 2 p.m. on Tuesday? Well, I'm sorry, Craig, but because they got shipped on Wednesday, you're just going to miss it. It just doesn't work. Let's see here. Name is Rashina Gala Cockatoo. That sounds fun. Can you see the genie pin? It is put away. You have to understand, Cheese Doodle Dude. I've got binders full of pins down here, and so it would take me time to find it. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say no on that one, just because I don't want you to sit there and stare at the screen for 15 minutes while I look. So, what's more underrated in my opinion? Emperor's New Groove, Brother Bear, or Black Cauldron? Emperor's New Groove. Emperor's New Groove is one of our favorite movies. We absolutely love that movie. Hilarious, absolutely. So my wife actually makes her Spanish classes watch that in Spanish every year as well. Great movie. So easily my favorite of those 3. Not even close, honestly. Have 6 street map displays on my wall. That's really cool. That's really cool. The groups is Mr. Brady. That I need to go back and revisit that video. The groups of scared Disney cast members still, in many ways, just caught me by surprise. It blew me away the way that one took up. That video made my channel. It really did. And for a lot of people who subscribed, that was the one they first caught. So that was an amazing deal. There's not very many other stories I can tell that would compare with some of those. Let's see. Yeah, Pink Pearl Disney. Good way to describe that tour. The Scrooge McDuck tour. Have I ever of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse? I've heard of it. I actually am familiar with the old Mickey Mouse Club because I used to watch it. There's an old one for you. MICKEYMOUSE. Who's the leader of the band that's made for you and me? Okay. By the way, I've got one box here from Craig that I'm gradually opening up. That's kind of what I'm sitting on, what I've been opening up. Let's see. So funny. Love the movie. Did I watch the new Dumbo? Not yet. I don't know if we're going to go see it in the theaters or not. We're kind of still deciding and debating. We're going to go see How to Train Your Dragon first, and then we'll see. What is Disney's Hollywood Studios like? Never been there before. Gabrielle, watch some of my vlogs, and you can see. It used to be a working movie studio, and now it's kind of a hodgepodge of confusion. They're not quite sure what it is anymore because it's not studios. So, where do I fall on the spectrum of Epcot purism? Ooh, that's an interesting description. Spectrum of Epcot purism. I never got to experience original Epcot, so I would have liked to experience Communicore and Horizons. In fact, there's a whole video I did on attractions I would have liked to have experienced, and I basically sum up several of them with saying, I just would have liked to have seen Epcot the way it originally was. Right now, I'm concerned about the direction it's going. Epcot's another one that it's been kind of, their theme has been kind of abandoned in some ways. The theme for Epcot is basically a continual World's Fair. And Future World had a defined concept. And now, as Innoventions has declined and then disappeared, and the Universe of Energy is now going to Guardians of the Galaxy, which doesn't fit. And some of the others, it's kind of like, what is it now? And it looks like they're going to make it very pretty, but I don't know that it's going to have a unified theme. So I'm still kind of waiting to see. I don't like parks that are just stuff thrown together. If I want to see things just thrown together, I'll go to Six Flags or Cedar Point. So we'll see. I'm ears out. Please stop singing. Careful, Aaron. I'm going to sing all the... You just wait. Aaron's going to California with us, and I'm going to be singing all over the place to him, and he can't get away. What's the rarest pin that you don't have but want? I honestly have no clue, King. I'm in pins for fun. I know people get real expensive and stuff like that. I'm like, if I start getting to the point where I'm worried about the money on them, I'm not doing it. So I don't look at prices on pins. If it's more than about $25, it's out of my budget, and I don't care what it looks like or how much I'd want it. It doesn't matter, so I don't pay attention. So I keep it to a fun level, and that's it. Someone sells questionably skilled singing filters. Boy, Craig, you and Aaron would just get along great. So, Joseph, please sing the It's a Small World theme. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. Oh, there's a don't in there. Actually, okay, here's a nice side thing for you. Somebody today on one of the forums actually posted this picture of High School Musical, and it was a GIF, all in this together, and I was like, oh no. I spent all day with all in this together, and it's like, no, not High School Musical. So there you go. Now I've done it to you too. Revenge. It's average. Oh, don't compliment me that much, cheese little dude. It's not even that high. So spoils the fun of teasing him. No, see, Craig, the whole deal is I like to sing horribly just to annoy people. Disney Duchess, you missed the whole discussion about Disneyland Paris. I was at Disneyland Paris almost exactly a year ago and have a whole bunch of videos up for it. Loved it, would love to go back. Okay, I gotta get to this box. I've been all distracted. This is from Craig. Hi, Sir Willow. So this guy who's complaining about me singing is now writing me a letter. Hope you had a happy St. Patrick's Day and are feeling great by the time you get this. I'm feeling better. Still allergies, but it's that time of year. I've enclosed several items to add to your stuff at home. Office files and maybe, dare I dream, even appear on the main YouTube set backdrop. Which, speaking of which, I've got to redo my backdrops because, I've still got to get this thing put up there. So, that will be coming when I have some time. First, hopefully your fur kids sufficiently like and amicably share the ball, bandanas, and chicken so that Izzy will stop giving me dirty looks for having previously ignored the Bernash contingent, who she thinks are the most important members of any household. Yeah, just ask my cats. They would agree with you. And yes, they have been enjoying the toys. Please pass along an apologetic woof and meow to them for me. Ginger? I don't know. My dogs are all gone. I think they're all hiding in the back. Second, I'm afraid all the pass holder flower and garden pins and shirts were sold out. Oh, when we went to the festival on the 19th. That's interesting because they still had pass holder stuff available with the art festival when we were there, but the flower and garden were gone. So none for either of us. However, Elizabeth agreed that we only needed one Pluto magnet and Moonlight Magic wristband as souvenirs for us, so I enclosed the set for you. Yay! Third, in the new to me realm, we did the Fantasmic dessert and VIP viewing experience. Oh, now you gotta let me know how that went, Craig, because I've wondered about that and if it was worth it. It looked like a neat idea, and the seating area you get for it is so much better. I included a mug and lanyard from it. Awesome. In fact, I actually have my video from Fantasmic, this last trip. It's getting ready to go up. It has a different angle, and I actually think it's a little better quality than my last one. So that'll be coming up next week as well. Also include some flat paper items from Walt Disney World and the brochure rack I sent the teaser photo of for my February 16th stay at the Comfort Inn in Crawfordville, Indiana. Hope you enjoy them all. So there is the bag. Fantasmic. Best show at Disney still. I don't care what anybody else says. Fantasmic rocks. And Aaron, wait till you see the California version. So much better. And oh, that is a neat mug. Ooh, that one's going to go up on the shelf. So that's the Fantasmic mug. And then, oh, okay, so there's the cat. Hey, Sandy, Ruby's asleep on the couch here. But they will definitely have fun with that. Chewy's in here for the pets. So there's the chicken and jerky. Hey, Ginger, you're a jerk. Oh, wait, that's not what it means. It says chicken and jerky. Sealy would be the chicken, so Ginger would be the jerky. Right? Okay. There's the thump again. There is the light up lanyard for Fantasmic. That is really cool. Now, let's see. Can we get... There's the light. That's awesome. That is really awesome. And then there is the pin for St. Patrick's Day. So you're spoiling me here, Craig. Disney... Oh... 3 bandana set. My daughter will probably love these. So there's an R2-D2. And then... Little Star Wars. And Ewoks. And Amber does all sorts of stuff with bandanas. So I will probably pass that on to her. She'll love things like that. And then there is still a couple more things in here. Oh. Oh, oh. Okay, so he didn't get the one shirt, but... Figment! Let your imagination grow wild. Oh, so wait. You said you didn't get the... Oh, that's not the pass holder one. That's the regular one. Okay, I got it. I'm like, you didn't get the shirt. That's his shirt. That's awesome. I love that shirt, though. And yes, I have finally figured out that Figment is my favorite Disney character. Oh. And there's still a few more things here, which I'll pull out and look at some of the comments. Let's see. Woo! Try and catch all this... If I go to Disney again, could you film yourself being silly to the characters? Josh, wait for my videos coming up this next week from Disney Studios and Epcot, and you'll get to see some of the stuff I do with the characters. So, Annika, you forget I speak Spanish? My wife is fluent, so we get Spanish songs stuck in our head all the time. So, let's see here. Oh, hey, Disney Duchess. No, not a problem. Understand. I know a lot of people are new to the channel, and so they don't always know where I've go and what I've done. Easiest way to find out if I've been someplace is if you go to the channel main page on the search box there. Just type in a park or something. And if I've been there recently, it'll come up. This is the wristband. That's really cool. And nobody can break my stride. There's an 80s song for you. Let's see. Flowering Gardens pop. Flowering Gardens is one of the prettiest times at the park. Let's see. Going to Coolangatta again in June. Have a bit of extra time. Would like to see me if I can get to the parks on the Gold Coast and grab some bits and pieces. Oh, would I like you to see if we can get to the parks on the Gold Coast? Absolutely, Cassie. That would be awesome. I'd love to get to anything from the parks in Australia. So one of these years, Australia's on the bucket list too. So, did you cry watching Fantasmic again? Are you making fun of me, Aaron, for crying at Fantasmic? Yes! Do every time. Just like I recite all the lines for Muppets. So, let's see. There's the pass holder magnet. I'm going to get myself all distracted. And then the Flower Garden booklet. Oh, the mug lights up as well? Ooh. It sure does. Look at that. Blink, blink. It's a blinky. Awesome. There we go. More toys. Hi, Lenny. How are you doing? Is it different than the one in Florida? Yes, Aaron. Fantasmic in California takes place around the rivers of America, so it is not in its own theater. You get to watch it in Disneyland. It has a couple of segments that are definitely different. No Pocahontas, the lamest segment in the whole thing. It used to be Peter Pan, and they have now switched it over to Pirates of the Caribbean. It's probably one of the coolest segments. And then several other things, they've modernized it too. So from what I've heard, it's supposed to look really cool. But much of it's the same, but there are some differences. Do I like the new reboot of DuckTales? You know, I honestly haven't had time to watch it very much. Do cats or dogs get to sleep with you at night? Yeah, I get all of them. All of them. So, let's see here. So, the brochures that Craig grabbed. Holiday World and Splashing Safari. Great park in Indiana. By the way, if you've never been there, free drinks while you're in the park, free parking, free suntan lotion in the water park. It actually is one of the best water parks around, but they are a fantastic park. Zip lines underground. I've heard this is supposed to be really cool, too. One of these days. Marengo Cave. I have not heard of that one. Indiana Caverns, however, I have. So, neat. Yeah, you get to take a boat on that one. And then Indianapolis Zoo, which is cool. I've heard good things about them. Let's see, the Mark Twain Cave. Lake Rudolph is the campground at Holiday World. I've actually stayed there way long ago. Indiana Travel Map. Indiana Historical Society. Oh, very cool. Hall of Fame Museum. So, let's see. Museum and track tours. Oh, so this is for Indianapolis. Ooh. One of these years. I've been watching the Indy 500 every year since I was like 6. So, Vandalia, Illinois. Home of Lincoln. So, yeah, Indianapolis is one of those other places I'd love to get to. Whether NASCAR or Indy. Let's see. This is the Moonlight Magic at Disney. Very cool. So, this is from their little party they've got in this nice little brochure. So, Moonlight Madness, you get to go into the park when it's basically closed to the public, and they've got all this other stuff, much smaller crowds. This is going to be something that when Star Wars opens up, that's going to be the way to see Star Wars, and it's still going to be a madhouse. Phantasmic VIP and dessert viewing experience. The desserts that we had when we did that at Not So Scary were great. We really enjoyed that. And then Epcot. You with an apple. It's not even an apple on it. It's a strawberry. Don't ask me where that went. Flower and Garden Festival at Epcot. And then the schedule with the concerts, because they do a whole bunch of concerts for it, and times guides. Thank you so much, Craig. Very, very cool stuff. Let me see if I can go through all this stuff. Let's see. Those who are talking about Scrooge McDuck, we got to, at Animal Kingdom, which this is the next vlog coming up, we got to meet Scrooge and also Launchpad McQuack. And had a couple great moments with them, so you'll enjoy that. That's coming. So, get hired at any job with my passion. That would be cool. I thank you very much for that compliment, RuneScape fan. Any plans in the upcoming years to come to Lake Compounce? I would actually love to go to Lake Compounce. Here's a nice little story from you. Back when I taught public school in Florida, I was their computer lab. And I actually used roller coasters and theme parks to teach science and computers to kids. And so I actually sent out a whole bunch of requests, and Lake Compounce sent me some fantastic stuff. They sent me posters and brochures, and then a science guide for the kids to use. So I still have all of that from Lake Compounce. Great park. I've never been there. I've actually never been up along in New England at all. So I would absolutely love to go there. That whole region is a place that I'd love to go at some point, and it's one of those, yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Then you look at the money, and but yeah, I would absolutely love to get up there at some point. And then, of course, if you're in Bristol, Connecticut, you gotta stop by ESPN too. But have you ever watched The Muppet Show? Josh, I used to watch The Muppet Show live when it was on TV. Well, okay, not live, but I saw the original episodes as they aired. I've got the first 3 seasons on DVD and wish they would get the next 2. Bring back the Muppet Show. Muppet Show rocks. Absolutely rocks. Wish you were Peter Pan. Okay. James Garcia. Soon only rich people will be able to go. Soon tickets will be over $1 million. Disney has never been a park for the cheap. Never. In fact, I just did a whole video, a month ago, about Disney being too expensive. Check it out. I talk about that whole thing and whether they're pricing people out of the parks or whatnot. They've never been as cheap as people seem to think that they were. So they've always been upper end of theme parks. Always, 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 always. So never a cheap trip. Have I witnessed any bloopers while watching Disney parades or shows? Nothing I have any pictures or can tell much about. I think I did mention the broomsticks falling over when it rained one time and it got too slick and they started falling on their face. And in the middle of the rain, poor Mary Poppins riding the back of the float, like holding up her parasol. So I've mentioned a couple things like that, but not a lot because generally with the parades, if I was working at Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios during a parade, we would shoot up till we might see the beginning of the parade, and then at that point we went in because we couldn't shoot pictures during the parade. There was no reason for us to be out, so we would take our lunch breaks at that point. Parades would take about 30 minutes, so we see the parade off in the distance. Time to go eat, head off to the cafeteria or our lunchroom, eat lunch. Once we're all done, come back out, and the parade had been over for about 5-10 minutes and it's cleared out. So we really didn't watch the parades very often when we were working. Every now and then if I was helping the parade cruise, but even that was unusual. So I didn't see too many parade bloopers. He can recite the entire Muppet Show. The Muppets 3D show, yes, I actually can. And I love to do that to Aaron when they're with me or the family members. Amber got to see me do this last time. I have almost that whole entire show memorized. And so, yes, during the show, I sit there and quietly, without being too loud, whisper the whole thing or lip sync it. So, brakes, where's the brakes? Let's see. Recite the Muppet Show. I'm not just going to recite it. That's no fun if you can't see all of the stuff. But do I think I would ever go back to Knoebels? I'd love to go back to Knoebels. Absolutely would love to go back to Knoebels. It's definitely on the list of places to go back to. So, whew, can you all believe it's been an hour and 15 minutes? My family's probably back there going, aren't you done yet? So I want to thank everybody so much for everything. Craig, you spoiled me again. Patrick, that is just awesome. Thank you so much for the letters, everybody. I love the fan mail. And yes, I do keep all of the fan mail I get sent. There's information on the pins down below. So be sure to check that. And I will try and get all that posted again in just a little bit here. And of course, there's all sorts of other information in the description. Sign on to the Facebook page if you haven't yet. Join the Facebook group for fans if you haven't yet. It's not just about me. It's about anything travel and theme park related and just plain fun. So it doesn't have to have anything to do with me or Disney. Check Reddit, check Discord, and all of that kind of good stuff. I think we got that. If you got suggestions and stuff too that you want to see in videos, let me know. I've got a couple coming up here. I've got one I'm working on that actually really just kind of hit me today, and I started outlining on ways to have fun with characters, hints to start a good interaction. And so that'll be coming up pretty soon. I've got several hint videos on how to save money at Disney and how to get the most out of FastPass Plus. So these are all kind of in the works, as well as the Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios vlog and a few other things coming up as well. So there's a bunch of stuff coming up, but I'm always looking for ideas as well. So Rex, yes, Rex will be in Galaxy's Edge. So if you like Rex from Star Tours, he's coming back. So excited about that. So, oh, Aaron, no, you didn't upset me. I'm sorry. Aaron, I hope you didn't. I think you may have misunderstood. I was just being silly. I really was. No, you didn't upset me at all. I was just trying to be a goof. So sometimes my goofiness doesn't always quite work. I'm sorry about that. So have an awesome night, everybody. Aaron's got a link to the Facebook group there for you, so be sure to check it out, as well as the Reddit. So Aaron's busy copying and pasting all that. And of course, you can always find it in the description of the video as well. So thank you so much to everybody. Have an awesome and incredible night, and be blessed.
If you want to know whenever I have a new video out, well, hey, make sure you hit that button right there and subscribe. If you want to see another video right now, well, I've got a great one right here for you. And if you want to be like these wonderful people here and help support me financially on Patreon, well, check out that link right there and it'll take you to it. Thanks so much, and God bless.